We are recording.
Oh my gosh, are we actually doing this?
I think we just started our podcast. Wow, are you nervous?
Honestly, no. I feel like I was born for this moment. And I am just here for it. Are you nervous?
A little bit, but in the best way, I think.
Okay, perfect. A little nerves just means that we're really just doing something that's beyond the comfort zone, just gonna push us, grow us.
This is what I needed. Are we gonna do a little intro music?
Let's.
I think that's where we like drop it.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do the intro?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I redo it? Or no?
Yeah,
No.
No.
No. Okay.
No, just hop in.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome to the You Can Do Both podcast. I'm Court.
I'm Ashley.
And you can do both.
You can absolutely do both. So we're here. We are in New Hampshire at my lake house. We came up here to start our podcast in a quiet space. There's a huge snowstorm. It's supposed to snow all day. So cozy vibes in here.
Cozy vibes. We decided it'd be better to be snowed in here than our little cute Somerville apartments.
Yep, Somerville's getting over 2 feet of snow as we speak. So I needed my car to be out of the city ASAP. I was not trying to dig her out.
What's funny is that, like, we're both living in the city, and I guess that would qualify us as city girls, but...
City girls.
But we're just simply not that.
No, we're definitely not
We
city girls.
can do both.
We can do both. I'm so happy you said that. That's a great point. I couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, where should we start here? I think we should start with how we met each other.
Absolutely.
Do you remember the first time we met each other?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think we have the same memory of it?
Probably not.
Okay. All right, you go first.
Okay. So I will have to admit, I knew of you before I actually met you.
Oh
and I feel like that's just not the same.
No.
Ashley has quite an interesting memory, which is what you'll learn through listening to us. But yeah, so I knew of you.
Okay.
But I didn't know really anything about you aside from the fact that you just had a cool Instagram.
I love that for me.
I also love that for you because that still stands true today.
Thanks, Queen.
We were at Bentley. Shout out, Bentley University of Waltham, Massachusetts.
Wow.
That feels like forever ago.
Literally forever ago. We used to walk that campus.
Walk it. In days like today where there's a legit snowstorm.
No, actually, I would drive us in Brittany from the 2-minute drive from lower campus to upper campus, and we would just jam to Chelsea Color every morning.
You're not wrong. Okay, back to the story. It was recruitment, sorority recruitment, and I think the first time we actually met was on bid day. We just met each other.
I don't remember this.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, good.
So we met each other. And I think it was just me and Sam, our other really good friend. And Sam and I didn't have a group at the time. We just were like floaters, like friends with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you appeared to have like a good group. And then housing kind of came around. You were a group of 4. We were a group of 2. We wanted to live in a 6.
That's what I remember.
And that's how it came to be. And like a little did we know that this beautiful, long ass friendship would have come from Alpha Phi Bid Day.
Alpha Phi baby. Yes. Okay, so what I remember is meeting in La Cava. Why does that sound like a weird word to me? That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, the La Cava building.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it was Victoria Stack was like, hey, like I want to introduce you to Court and Sam. They're so cool. We're just gonna meet for lunch and see if it's gonna work out.
No way.
Long story short, we actually didn't even end up living with Vic
or about
Grace.
This.
Yeah. So that's where it all began.
Holy moly. And Ashley, why are we finally doing this podcast?
Yeah, so this has been a long time coming.
Yes.
So for those that don't currently know us, we did live in the North End for a summer. Going into senior year.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know the North End, the way we can describe it is like the little Italy of the city. Super small, quaint, and just like
Cute.
honestly, like every part of it you can romanticize. Like
Every
it was
part.
a surreal experience getting to live there. And we subletted from these 3 boys that went to a nearby university and were on the baseball team. We were in like this grimy, disgusting apartment, super small, but we had literally the best time of our lives.
The best time. Like when I say the best, I mean I didn't buy groceries.
Yeah.
I never cooked one meal in my 3 months of living there.
Yeah, no, it was the location is what we were paying for, and it really did set us up for the best summer. And we were working professionals with like our internships, our first real city apartment, like the 3 best friends all living together.
Yep.
And that's when, honestly, I think Call Her Daddy was becoming absolutely huge. Like, we would listen to Call Her Daddy on our walks to work. Like, Alex Cooper was becoming just like the girl, and Sophia Franklin, TBT.
TBT. Hopefully that's not us.
Yeah, definitely not. Maybe
Very
like bought out
scary.
by Spotify by 60 million. Let's have that be us.
I would love that for us. Manifestations are activated.
Yes, period. But where was I going with the story?
Oh, where the podcast started.
Oh, yes.
Our first ever idea.
Yes. And so we always, like, for shits and gigs, you're like, we could literally have a podcast.
I mean, I will preface this by saying I'm pretty sure every girl best friend duo
absolutely
has looked at each other in the middle of a hilarious conversation and both agree that they should start a podcast immediately.
1000%.
But we're actually doing it.
Exactly.
So I'm proud of us.
No, I am so proud. I mean, it only took like 2 years later for us to still be thinking about this and be like, imagine if we started in 2019. Seriously.
Yeah.
Where could it be today? And like, that's the vibes I'm taking into my 2022. And I feel like you are pretty similar. It's like, people don't do things that they've always aspired to because they're just like afraid of failure. But what about being afraid of not even allowing yourself the opportunity to succeed in something that you've been wanting to do?
Agreed. And I feel like it's almost more of a failure if we don't do it because we have this great idea and we're failing that idea.
Exactly.
Just by not pulling the trigger. So we pulled the trigger.
That we did.
Like 3 days ago.
Props to us. Literally, we ordered this equipment. We're like, wait, so this is happening, right?
Wait. Actually, let's back up.
Okay.
To a week and a half ago.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Do we need to talk about how we were in the car in the North End in the, like, with
you
the
talk
Uber
about
driver?
this. You talk
or
about
is that
this.
not? Okay, we can cut it out if not.
Yeah.
But, so in that North End summer, we woke up and we were dreadfully hungover. I have like a snap memory from, what was that, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
2019. That was 2 years ago. Or
Was
3 years.
it?
Oh my God.
I think
It was
3
3 years ago. Oh my God.
I have this funny snap memory. We have those ridiculously large, like, key black glasses on.
Our hater blockers. They covered our entire face.
Yeah. So we're so hungover. We call an Uber because that summer, because we were in the North End, I couldn't have a car in the city. So I kept my car at Bentley. So we're Ubering over to Bentley and we were just in the back seat having, you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That hungover funny conversation.
Like the windows are like partly cracked because otherwise we might be like throwing up.
Absolutely.
Like type thing. And we're just
the
really
Uber driver's literally laughing with us.
Yeah.
And in that moment, we just looked at each other and we were like, wow, like, we should probably start a podcast.
Yeah,
and
our life should probably be documented for our sake, but also for everyone else.
Yes. So
it's just pure comedy.
We can be your source of entertainment. So that's where it was born. But then fast forward to 2 weeks ago.
Actually, I'm going to cut in and say, let's rewind for a second because skirt, we're actually going back. So obviously that moment happened and it was just vocalized for the first time. But then the cutest thing that Ashley doesn't even remember.
This is the memory that Courtney's referring to. Like, I don't remember anything. I don't remember people.
No.
Nothing.
No.
There's
but we're working on it.
We are.
I'm
trying.
And I'm rejogging her memory in this current moment because our senior year of college, so after the summer of us living together in the North End, and she saw this like card, like this cute little greeting card that said, I would have a podcast with you. And it was like a picture of these 2 girls like drinking a martini. And she literally just surprised me with this card. And I still have it to this day.
Friend.
Oh my God. The best friend that anyone could ever have, who just like sees something like that and thinks of someone and actually purchases it, like signs it, XOXO Ash, your best friend. And we're going to have a podcast one day. And so now we can flash forward.
Okay, all right. That was really cute. And I'm happy that like you can re-jog my memory.
Yes, and I'm going to find the card, and it's going to be so special.
Okay, amazing. I love that. So then, so 2 weeks ago,
Correct.
Courtney just has the sickest corporate job ever somehow. I mean, we would expect nothing less, but she gets free Celtics tickets from this Celtics man that's, I don't know his name, but he's amazing.
Yes.
So shout out. And she texted me, she's like, what are you doing tonight? And I was like, nothing. And I knew she was going to bring me to the Celtics game. So she's like, do you want to go to the Celtics? Waiting. I was like, hell yeah. So we go. I don't think we watched a single minute of the game.
And
not sports girlies.
Unfortunately, the Celtics lost, so that did happen. But I just distinctly remember looking up and being like, oh, so we're in the fourth quarter. And we're losing. But anyway, we had a great time.
We did. And we were just chit-chatting, talking about life, as we do every time that we're together.
Exactly.
So then we head over to Banners after. Yes. For those that are not in Boston, Banners is like the sports bar that's right outside of TD Garden.
Yeah.
And we go in and we're just talking and boom, you know, in the middle of our great conversation, there's the idea again. Oh my God, why haven't we started a podcast?
Seriously. And then we're like, but we need a name, you know, what do we want the podcast to be about? And we're talking, we're like, we want it to be a lifestyle. Ashley and I have this very, very, special energy between us, I would say. And it's something that's picked up by people when they're around us. We recognize
sounds cheesy,
it,
but it
sounds
real.
Ridiculous, but it's just like an infectious energy. And I think what's really cool and has made our relationship the way that it is the way that we're just so independent and like working on our own things, but each other's like number one supporters. And we obviously have like a lot of values that align and whatnot, but like we're the types of people that could literally be drunk and out and having the best time of our lives till 2 a.m. But then all of a sudden, like, we'll wake up at 8 a.m. and it's like, should we go to a fire cycle spin class?
Like, exactly what we were doing the Celtics night. We were out on what I like to call a school night.
Yeah, it was
way past our bedtime.
Ridiculous of us.
Having a few too many drinks.
Yeah.
And then, boom. Wake up actually I didn't go to the gym in the morning.
I did go to the gym the next day. Actually, no, I didn't either.
No.
But see, that's okay.
And that is okay.
Because we can do it all. We can do both. Mm-hmm. We don't need to be that girl, which is like a trend right now.
That. I thought I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well, I get it. It's like the aesthetic. It's like the drinking all the water and the green juices and being able to wake up at 6 a.m. and like do all the things and be cool and aesthetic. But also like there's beauty in things that are just not beautiful and just like the reality of life.
Yeah, just when I see those things, it makes me feel like when I am scrolling on my phone in bed and I gave myself I allowed myself to sleep in and get a couple extra hours of sleep in the morning. I don't want to feel guilty for that, for not getting up at 5 a.m. every day.
Absolutely not.
So you can do both. You can have both lifestyles. And that's kind of where it was started.
Yeah.
At Banner.
Yeah. So Ash and I were just kind of talking about these things and explaining like what we first see this podcast being. And to be honest, we don't really have a strict vision for it. We just want to literally talk about our lives. Super cheesy. We're navigating our 20s. So that is not going to be our tagline, but like genuinely that's what we're doing. And we think it'd be really cool to document it and share it with you guys, and hopefully it'll resonate and you guys can relate. But we were talking about all of these things and we're like, what's the name? What's the name? And we were just like, you can do both. And now she's like, well, what both? What? Okay. She just thought it was a part of the conversation. I was like, Ashley, you can do both.
And I was like, okay, like, yeah. And you look at me, you're like, you can do both. And I was like, oh, that's the name. Yes. I love it.
What really did her in too was all the socials were available.
All of them. We immediately went on TikTok and Instagram and got the handles like right away.
Yeah, like we had to write down the password so that we would remember.
I also didn't remember that.
Because there was drinks flying, obviously. But so check us out on all platforms. You can do both pod.
It's either you can do both or you can do both pod.
Yes.
So yeah. So that was pretty easy. And then a couple days later, it's all I could think about We were texting each other nonstop with ideas, immediate FaceTimes all day.
Yeah.
And honestly, it made my workday go by so quick. It was so nice. I would wake up thinking about Courtney and I recording a podcast and all these different topics. And then I'd be like, oh no, I need to focus. I'd grind out my work. Boom, lunchtime. Time to do more research. So we scheduled like a little, I thought of it as a business call.
Oh, it was for sure. Like
fun fact about Courtney is she's not good at answering her phone. So I just have to blow up her phone immediately. And the girl's busy, you know? So I was like 12 o'clock or 12:30 FaceTime. And we hopped on, discussed equipment, and ordered it on Amazon. Shout out Amazon.
Next day delivery, baby.
Hours. And we got our mics at the exact same time.
Literally, because we also live like 2 minutes down the road from one another. And so we were on FaceTime and she was like, oh my goodness, I think the Amazon delivery driver is here.
I'm literally tracking it. I'm like 5 stops away.
Yeah.
Send her a screenshot. I FaceTime her 2 stops away.
This did in fact happen. And then she called me back to show me her mic and I literally had my mic in my hand and I'm like, oh, hey.
Oh, it was just so special.
What I don't think I'm going to love about this podcast, and there's absolutely no negativity here, but the sound of my laugh, I will point that out.
I mean, just the sound of the voice in general.
Yeah,
and I don't even
maybe
we'll
fall in love with it. No. I think we're going to fall in love with it, honestly.
Right. I think so, too.
Because everyone thinks their voice is a little funny.
Yeah. But I think, you know, our voice is what makes us us.
1,000%.
So I like it. I'm excited. What are you most excited about?
Honestly, what am I most excited about? I think I'm most excited to just learn as we go. Like, we're going to become, like, we're just going to grow as this podcast grows, and then we'll always have later episodes to look back on. And I just think it's going to be such an amazing experience to speak to, and we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, a lot about one another, and then hopefully kind of build a community around it and be able to meet people through listeners and being able to relate to us and just being able to bring everyone together. And like, there's honestly so much. What are you excited about?
Selfishly, I'm most excited about having a hobby. So
we love that.
I can talk about the Sunday setup, right?
Of course.
Okay. So Courtney, again, doing all these cool things. Courtney and her friend Cam put together this group. Or do you want to explain it? It is
sure.
Like your
I can.
Okay.
Yeah. Super quick. So the Sunday setup is something that Cam and I, which is a friend, very similar to how Ashley and I have this like energy to us. I know this sounds so ridiculous, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, there are just some people that are in your lives that you're just like, I know that they're in my life for a reason, and I just like, things just make sense. You don't even need to talk to this person like every day. Like, I could literally go months without talking to people and be like, you're still my go-to. So whatever. That's how I feel about this girl named Cam. She's based out of New York City. We literally met through a boy once, and we're just like, yep, you're my person. So we started thinking about this as well. And like, she has people similar to me in her life that are kind of located all over like the US and just even outside of the US, and just people that she doesn't get to see all the time, but like-minded girls in their 20s. And so both of us were like, why don't we create this time to connect twice a month on a Sunday night and get all these people together and start building really cool relationships and friendships through this. So we meet bi-weekly on a Sunday. We talk about a podcast because obviously we're like-minded. We're like into just improving ourselves, and podcast is that like fun way that we all kind of do it. So it's kind of similar to a book club, but instead we talk about a podcast of the week, and we help each other in whatever we're doing. So like, if someone has a food blog and then another person has
Munching
a
with Maddie.
podcast. Yeah.
Shout out
Munching with Maddie. It's like we all want to connect and talk about what we're doing and all the amazing things and even some of the growing pains that we're going through, and just be there to really support each other, even if we're not in the same geographic location. So that's essentially what we're doing. It's still at the very baby phases, but it's super fun and just a way to meet more people.
Yeah, so we've met twice now, and I'm not good at public speaking. So also something I'm excited about
That's
is
what she thinks. She actually is, though.
No. Okay, that's a topic for another time.
Deal.
But I just get very nervous speaking in front of people that I'm not comfortable with and that I don't know. So Courtney, being the best friend that she is, before our first meeting, she texted me. She's like, I know you're going to freak out. So here are the questions, like the icebreaker questions ahead of time. So I was like, perfect. Let me practice these. Let me get it all down. So it's my turn to speak. And actually, I'm pretty sure Cam called me out the first time.
Did.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like shaking. My voice is shaking. We're just not doing well. And they decided to throw in a little extra question. And that question happened to be, what is your passion? Moment of silence, because I freaked out. I was like, what is my passion? I don't have a passion. I mean, I like a lot of things, but is there something that I am passionate about? Everyone else has all these great things. And of course, I'm the first one to go. So you know what I say? I say positivity. I'm like,
no way.
Yes, that's what I said. And then I tried to make it sound a bit better. And I was like,
it sounded
fostering or what did I say? Something about creating a positive environment, which is true. Like I am
1000%
potentially on the higher end of the toxic positivity, because I really try so hard to always see the bright side.
The bright side of things. That's also a topic for another episode.
Yeah, that is. But so
Passion.
So selfishly, I'm hoping that maybe this could be my passion. So ever since the Sunday setup has introduced that questions, I have asked my coworkers. I have asked everyone that I've met up for drinks with, catching up. I've asked literally anyone I've come in. I'm like, what's your passion? Because I'm just so curious. I'm like, do people have these? I asked my mentee at work.
Yeah.
We had our catch-up call, and we had a whole 30-minute discussion on passions. And I don't know, it's just very interesting, and I don't think I've found mine yet. So in 2022, after this was introduced to me, I was like, wow, okay, 2022 is going to be the year of me finding my passion. So selfishly, again, I'm hoping maybe this can turn into a passion of mine.
1000%. And I also just think that question of a passion is very intimidating, because it makes it seem like you need to have this one golden nugget type thing. But the reality of the situation is we're humans, and we have so many different things going on in our lives that you can have just interest, but I think there is a beauty in turning a specific interest into a passion, because there's more to life than your 9-to-5 job, and there's more than just going out. And I have a strong belief in you need to have a few different topics or different categories in your life. You need to have something professionally that you're working towards. You need to have something kind of personally, and that makes you feel good and fuels your soul. You need to have something that obviously brings you money, but that could be profession. But then you also need to always have something creative going on in your life. You can't just grind and work and use your one side of your brain. I could not tell you left or right, but you know what I mean? You need to also be exercising your other side of your brain too, and make sure that you're constantly growing, learning, and doing something more artistic or creative, and that oftentimes becomes someone's passion.
Yeah, I feel like you're very well-rounded as far as passions go.
I feel like you are too, though.
Well, I feel like you just really see me in a much brighter light than the majority.
Okay, so
of
something else we're working
myself.
on is Ashley's perception of self.
Yes, but it's interesting.
She's an
because
icon.
I will say I'm pretty damn confident.
You are.
I'm so confident.
You are.
I haven't really struggled with confidence in my life. However, I guess I do struggle with it when it comes to public speaking. I'm like, oh, what are people gonna think about me?
You dwell on just certain little things.
Yeah.
And you get into your head about it, but it's not the reality of the situation.
And do you want to know what caused that?
What?
Alpha Phi recruitment.
Stop it.
Alpha freaking Phi recruitment, who, fun fact, Courtney was what do you call it? VP?
Yeah, Vice President of Recruitment.
Yeah. So maybe we just hop into a quick story time.
Oh, God.
Just
because
I think it's important.
Okay.
So I would say I'm very extroverted.
You are.
I love talking to people. I'll pretty much
1000%.
talk to anybody. This all changed when recruitment happened, and we are assigned people. Not that this is a sorority podcast, but Courtney signs me up with all these cool, young, fun girls that we're trying to recruit. And my very first person, maybe she's listening. I'm not obviously going to say the name.
No.
I had met her before, and we were talking, and there was just simply nothing. I was like, how's it going? And then silence. Silence. It got so bad to the point where I'm so embarrassed to say this, but I said, what else is new? I brought her to the food table, and from that point on, I am now always so nervous of my conversations with new people or speaking in front of people where the pressure's on.
You're in your head, sweetie.
I know. So I'm hoping this is gonna,
it will
bring me out.
I feel like it already is.
I think so too.
Something about this just feels right.
I really like a mic in my hand.
I really like this lounge chair that I'm sitting in, and the way that this is literally a conversation that you and I just have, like, on
All
the
time.
daily.
Yeah,
like this is purely us as friends. I have this fear that this is like not being recorded right now.
Oh
Could
my
you
God.
imagine?
I thought about that halfway through, and I was like, imagine? Because I don't know if I could repeat that.
No, I
You know?
1000%.
Then it feels
would
so
not.
artificial. Also, shout out. I keep saying shout out. I'm going to need a new word for that.
That's
but
okay.
props to us
Yes.
for just hopping it. We don't even have an outline, guys.
No, we don't.
Like, we just started recording this. We just figured out how to record on 2 mics. And then we just sat down and started talking.
This is just going to be amazing. How do we wrap this up?
Well, I really wanted to include the focus of the week.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah, I thought that could be a fun little segment that we have. We kind of do this in the Sunday setup, and it's very inspiring to me. Just
Okay,
something
let's do it.
you want to manifest for yourself. So, focus of the week for me. Honestly, I just want to get this podcast episode up.
Absolutely.
I think that's my number one goal this week, because once you get the first one up, it'll kind of all fall into place. But I'm just so proud of us that we're actually doing this and starting.
Me too.
So manifesting that, and that's focus of the week, and we'll report back. But what about you?
My focus of the week is literally getting my life together.
That's
And I feel like that's going to be a common theme, honestly, for most weeks, but I'll give you a little context. I'm just going away on Thursday of this upcoming week, and I'm going away to a friend's birthday party, and we're renting a huge Airbnb in Austin, Texas. So excited. And
I'm so jealous.
from there, I'm traveling to LA, and I'm going to be in LA for work for a week. So, like, there are just so many things. I'm realizing that I need, like, clothes for both, like, work and play.
True.
I'm going to be gone for a while. So, you know, we got to get the nails done. We got to pack. We got to do all the things.
Very exciting stuff.
Very exciting stuff.
That's
So
the best.
so it's prep. It's prep for taking myself away from routine, which is definitely a foreign concept to me and not something that I'm always very comfortable with.
Yeah, I get that. We love our routines.
We do love the routines.
Well,
but
excited for the content.
Yeah, manifesting that I get my life together and set myself up for success for the week that I will be away and out of Boston.
Okay. I love that.
Did we just finish our first podcast?
I think we did.
Drops mic.
Literally about to drop the mic.
Literally
My
dropping the
my
mic
hands are
as
a
we
little
speak.
sweaty.
I'm not gonna lie.
I can't lie.
Me too. Glad it wasn't just me.
Okay, so you guys can follow us on Instagram at You Can Do Both Pod. TikTok is You Can Do Both. Personal is my Insta is It's Ashley Paul.
And mine,
ITS. Ashley
Yep.
Paul.
And mine is at Court Carlton. 2 T's in the court.
2 T's.
2 T's. And with that, thanks for listening. If you listened.
We love you and we appreciate you. And
We're doing the damn thing.
we are doing the damn thing. All right. I guess this is
This
where we
is,
say goodbye.
this is it.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. All right, let's see if
And she's a wrap.
was recording. Play that outro music.
Ooh, outro. Here we go.
Da, 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 da.